Hey everybody, welcome. I wanted to do a quick video on the syllabus and just kind of an introduction to the class. This is STA 2023, Statistical Methods for the spring. This is the TWK semester, right? So it's a shortened semester. We start today on February 12th and we'll end by 4/28. I believe our final exam is actually due on the 27th. This class is fully online. I've got a kind of a schedule itinerary to help you guys keep pace with due dates. Things will be available before the scheduled week to cover them. So if you want to get ahead in this class, you basically have all the material available to you up front, right? So you can kind of front load as much work as you'd like to try to get ahead and make it a little easier, maybe on the back end of the semester. And if not, that's fine too. This is my email. You can email me directly with questions, anything like that. You can also message me directly through Canvas. Canvas will be used for all of our course announcements and other correspondence. Pearson MyLab is going to be used for our assignments and also our tests. So homeworks and assignment and tests are also online. You can obtain access to Pearson MyLab when you buy our book. It will come with a code to access the Pearson MyLab. This is the info on the book. And then we also will need a TI 83 or 84 graphing calculator. The Math Center on campus at Winter Park has TI 84 graphing calculators that can be loaned out for the entire semester. The library also has these calculators that you can check out just daily. So if you wanted to check out one to take your test or to do your homework on one specific day, you can do that as well. I also posted a link to an online version of the TI 84, and I'll cover that in this video as well, show you where that is. So this is an introductory stats class. This is some of the topics we'll be covering. Here are those instructions for getting access to MyLab. This should be the correct course ID. I'm going to double check that and I will post it to a Canvas announcement or update if this needs to be updated. I think that should be correct. But yeah, here are those instructions kind of on how to make an account and also get into our class specifically on MyLab. So I'll let y'all cover that. We'll have about 7 assignments due over the course of this class. We'll have 3 tests, right? So these will strictly be, midterm tests. And then we'll have a 4th exam, which will be the final. Okay, so there's 3 midterms throughout the term or the semester, and then we will have a cumulative final. We're kind of gonna continually build throughout the semester, right? So a lot of the stuff that we learn about, say in chapter 5 or 17, which is on test 2, those are kind of the building blocks to be able to do different things, right, with similar methods in test 3 and then also the final, right? So we're kind of going to be using what we learn in the beginning of the semester throughout the entire semester. So yeah, the final will be cumulative. Here's a breakout of kind of the grading scale. Homework is going to be worth 50% of your grade, which obviously is quite a bit. So do your homework, take your time on it. I do give you a couple of tries for each homework problem. So if you get it wrong the first time in the system, you can actually have a second chance to answer that same question a second time. For our three midterm tests, right? Those three will be worth 30% of your grade altogether, so they're worth 10% each. And then the final exam will be worth 20%. So altogether, right, adds up to 100%. The tests sometimes in the MyLab system obviously don't really allow for partial credit. So where that applies, I will review homeworks and tests and try to apply partial credit where I can. So here's kind of the tentative itinerary. Again, you've got access to all of these videos. All the material, all the homeworks will be available in MyLab as well right off the bat. So if you wanted to just crank through, the first 5 weeks worth of work, in the first 2 weeks of class, you are more than welcome to do that. If you have the time and the time to do it, then you are more than welcome to work ahead, right? Don't let this schedule hold you back, right? If you want to get ahead, then you are able to do that. So for week 1, right, you should watch the syllabus video, which is what you're watching right now. And then you should also watch all the chapter 1 and chapter 2 videos. We'll kind of see on Canvas where these are. There are no homework assignments due in this first week, but you can see in week 2, you do have 2 assignments due, right? So I wanted to give you some time in this week to just kind of get set up, get access to MyLab, right? Watch these videos. But then you'll have 2 homework assignments due by Sunday, 2/25, by 11:59 p.m. So you can see homeworks and tests are always kind of due by the Sunday of that week, by, right before midnight at 11:59 p.m. These dates are kind of the Monday and Friday dates, right? So don't get too confused. I know week 2 says it ends at 2/23. That's just kind of the Monday through Friday week, right? But then the Sunday, a couple days after that Friday, is when the homework or the tests will be due. You can see in week 4, right, you should take test 1. It's not due until Sunday night, March 10th. So what I've tried to do is stagger these things in such a way, right? In week 1, we're watching chapter 1 and chapter 2 videos, and then that homework is due by the end of the following week, right? So you're watching kind of the next set of videos, the next set of material, but you're working on the homework on the things we covered the previous week, right? So then just like this, you've watched all chapter 3 videos in week 2, you've submitted homeworks 1 and 2, and then so in week 3, you should be working on homework 3, which covers chapter 3, and you should also be watching the chapter 5 videos. I've tried not to make tests and homeworks due on the same week. It was a little tough to do with spring break and with the shortened time frame, but you can see, you've watched all of chapter 5. Test 1 only covers chapters 1 through 3. So we're kind of getting ahead with chapter 5. And then, so homework 4 is not due here until looks like it says 311. I think this should say 317, right? So the chapter 5 homework, which is homework 4, isn't due until 2 weeks after you've watched those videos because you've got test 1 due here kind of in between. So we kind of follow this pattern, right? If you've got any questions on the itinerary, feel free to let me know. Trying to think if there's anything else I should talk about here. You can see we're kind of crammed here, right, towards the end. Again, with spring break, we've got test 2 due by 4/7. And then just 2 weeks later, right, we have test 3. And then 1 week later, we've got our final. But again, you're watching these videos, chapter 23, which is comparing proportions and comparing means. The stuff we're going to learn about in week 9 and 10 is very, very similar to weeks 7 and 8. It's just a little kind of extra steps. So we're learning about confidence intervals and hypothesis tests here. This is going to be for 1 samples. And then we're going to learn about 2 sample confidence intervals and hypothesis tests in these 2 weeks. So it's very similar. Again, we're kind of building on, chapters 18 through 22 into chapter 23. So don't stress out too much about having, a test and then a final exam a week later. The final exam will be very similar, right, to test 3. Attendance, right? This is an online class. Get your Valencia cards that you can access the library and things like that. Here's a bunch of other kind of boilerplate stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up our Canvas class. So if you go into your Canvas class, I'm going to click on my student view. So this is what you should see when you go into our Canvas course, right? On the home screen, you should see all of our different modules, the syllabus. Here's that link to the TI-84 calculator. I'll show you in just a minute. I'll add the actual syllabus to this module as well right after I upload this video. And then you can kind of see, okay, so chapter 1, right, for that week 1, I need to watch these videos. You can see these hyperlinks here. These are all videos. Basically, this is our chapter 1 PowerPoint slides that you can download to look at and keep for your notes. And then if I click on this link, right, it'll take me to a video for the introduction, right? There I am for the chapter 1 intro. So then if we go back to our home page, right, there's another video. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 videos for chapter 1. Chapter 1 is pretty introductory. This one was only 12 minutes long, right? So I tried to keep these videos pretty short. Occasionally they might be a little longer, but typically they're around 10 to 15 minutes. And then here's our chapter 2 kind of module, right, with our PowerPoint slides, and we only have 3 videos in chapter 2, right? So in week 1, you should watch all chapter 1 and chapter 2 videos. Basically this week, right, you should watch chapter 1 and chapter 2 videos. And then next week, you should watch all the chapter 3 videos. There's only 4, again, with the slides, but you should also complete assignments 1 and 2, right, by the Sunday of week 2. And then we kind of just go on, right? You can see chapter 5, there's quite a few more videos, chapter 17. So this is kind of how you navigate the Canvas page. It's just right all here on either our modules or our home kind of screen. If I have any announcements, I'll post them here. To get to our assignments, you need to go to the Access Pearson tab. So this is the student view. I'm not sure if this will work for me or not. But yeah, you can log in. Oh, okay, yeah. So I need to go, it thinks I'm a student instead of a professor. So I need to go, let's go back to our course and see, how do I get out of this student view? I think so I'm just going to leave student view. It looks pretty similar, right? But here's again that Access Pearson. So we go to Open Pearson. After you link your account and everything, you can open the MyLab Mastering, and you can go straight to assignments. This should be what you see. So you can already see assignment 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like 5 is missing, but 6 and 7, right, with their due dates. I'll make sure to post assignment 5 as well. So assignment 1 and 2 are both due, right, on 2/25. Then assignment 3 is due a week later on 3/3. Assignment 4 is due 3/17. I think that's because there is a test, right? The test 1 is due 3/10, and then assignment 4 is due 1 week later, and then assignment 6, right, and so on, with our tests kind of mushed in there in between. If any of these dates are off, I will go back and correct them. But yeah, you just go in and click on the assignment. They're usually not too long, between 11 and 20 questions at most. And then you can go in and see your grades. The grades should link straight from Pearson MyLab. You can also see grades inside of Pearson. I might need to update the weighting a little bit for this course. But yeah, you can see, how your grades going. Let's check out the TI-84 calculator. So this takes you to this kind of website. It looks a little sketchy, but it has been working for me just fine. We're going to scroll down until you see the TestNav website. So we're going to click on TestNav. It'll kind of load up. Just click start again. And then once this loads to 100%, it basically just tells you to select the calculator button on the toolbar. So that's up here. And then you have a TI-84 calculator on your web browser that you can do, anything with. You can click on any of the buttons, right? 8 + 1, enter is 9. And I've got a lot of videos kind of showing you what keys to hit and where to go and how to use the calculator for the problems that we need to solve. I think that is pretty much all I wanted to cover in this video. So good luck on the semester. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions or concerns you have. And yeah, looking forward to this semester.